Hello, welcome to my channel.
How I got petty revenge on my ex-in-laws during my divorce from hell. My divorce from hell is a whole saga in and of itself, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to finally tell my story about my petty revenge on my ex-in-laws, because the statute of limitations has now passed, so I fear no repercussions. Background: my ex-husband and I got married very young due to an unplanned pregnancy and religious pressure not to have a child out of wedlock. A great start to a relationship, I know. I was a stay-at-home mum the entire time and did all the stereotypical domestic housework and childcare, to the point my ex hadn't bathed our child at all by the time they turned 3, and he was damn proud of that statistic. My in-laws were very disappointed in us because my husband was working a blue-collar job, which was beneath their family. They both had master degrees and worked as cliché COO positions in companies, drove nice new cars, had a huge home filled with designer items, and no friends. I was very naive and, quite frankly, brainwashed in a religious nonsense, to the point where, as my husband became increasingly abusive, in every sense of the word, I thought I was being a good godly wife by not leaving him or reporting him, because I was showing God's mercy and love through my faithfulness. Spoiler alert, I wasn't. I was a battered wife, and no one should ever accept this kind of treatment. But because of my mental condition at the time, it was easy to convince me how great it was that my in-laws were offering to have us move in with them, so my husband could attend school full-time and get out of the poverty hole we were in. Once we moved in, my in-law began verbally and mentally abusing me as well, and they teamed up into a professional gaslighting team. Needless to say, my mental health was at an all-time low, and debating the end of it all was a regular occurrence for me. Thankfully, before I got to the point of action, my husband filed for divorce, served me, closed our bank account, took the keys to my car, and his parents gave me an illegal eviction notice, saying I had to be out immediately and come back to retrieve my belongings within 48 hours, or everything would be trashed. This was all a very highly orchestrated attack by this family against me, and I was on the other side of the country from my family, with no job, no car, no money, and no clue what my legal rights were. Again, a story for another day about surviving the divorce. When I went back the next day to retrieve my stuff with an advocate from the homeless shelter I was living in, they had an off-duty police officer there to watch me and make sure I didn't steal anything. Like I said earlier, my in-laws are super snobby people. My mother-in-law would only shop for kitchen items from Williams-Sonoma, had fine china, crystal goblets, and a formal dining room filled with antique furniture, and a dining table that could seat 16 people, despite not having a single friend and never hosting dinner parties. One of her most prized possessions was her, allegedly, antique Tiffany's silver silverware set. This included dessert forks, salad forks, regular forks, long-stem dessert spoons, soup spoons, etc. And she had 12 of each to create the perfect fine dining set for a dinner party worthy of the family. Direct quote there. It's worth noting that in the 5 years I knew them, she never hosted a dinner party, and she didn't even use them the one time they hosted a Christmas dinner. Anyway, at one point the officer steps out to call my FIL to verify I can get documents out of the filing cabinet. It was my birth certificate and social security card. And I honestly don't know what possessed me, but I went into the drawer with her stupid fancy silverware and I took a single dessert spoon. Even typing this out now, I can't tell you why I did it, but I did. It has now become the petty spoon of revenge, and is used exclusively to eat ice cream and other such desserts when I have a girls' night with my friends. We all love laughing at the fact that my ex-mother-in-law has an incomplete set of her oh-so-pretentious silverware, and since she never hosts events, she likely has no idea. And even if she did suddenly decide to host something and realize she was missing a spoon, there's virtually no way she could blame it on me. All of this happened in 2016, so enough time has passed that I wouldn't be the logical scapegoat. But these people are far from logical. And since I'm sure people will ask what happened with the divorce, but I'm not planning on posting that saga, here's a brief TLDR for you. It all worked out. My kids and I now happily live far away from my ex-husband and ex-in-laws. My ex is a stereotypical deadbeat dad who chooses to remain unemployed and live off his parents to avoid paying child support. And he sees his kids less than 20 days a year. I am now with an amazing partner of 5 years, and he has stepped up as a father figure to my kids and treats me like a queen and is my biggest fan and supporter.